had to laugh when I saw that. When I think about the things that my mother will call me to tell me that my daughter says to her, and she laughs. When I said it, I had no teeth. Different time, that graphic, something many mothers and some grandmothers will agree with. So here to carefully tread the water of grandma versus mommy parenting, we've got counseling psychologist with Family Life Ministries and our friend Kevin Bailey, and mother and daughter Marie and Melanie Miller. And Melanie has twins. I'm sure grandma has twins too, right, grandma?
I do indeed.
Of course you do. My parents say Aaron is their daughter. There is no distinction. Mel, let me start with you.
Hi.
What a handful.
Indeed.
How old?
18 months.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
got to be fun.
It is fun. It is challenging at times, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a boy and girl, so I get the dynamic of both
Yes.
at one time,
Yes.
and their personalities are completely different. So, yeah, it
Let me
gets
ask you
real.
a question. Oh, my gosh. Liam and Leah.
Yes.
Beautiful. Oh, my heart can't manage. The journey of parenting versus the journey of you growing up with mom, what you went through as a child with how she now monitors or parents your children. Tell me the difference. Okay.
As you
Question
said
answer.
earlier about the things that you could have gotten away with as opposed to what they can, it's still kind of early in the game, but just in terms of starting to discipline, because they're now of the age where they do things or they're, getting involved in things that they shouldn't. And I will be the one who is like, no, yes, and grandma, come here, Liam, come here, Leah. And I'm like, hello? What's happening here?
Yes.
But there's a lot to learn. I'm happy that growing up, there were values that were instilled that I know for sure will be passed on to my children with pleasure. So you take the good with the bad. I mean, as they say, you go into grandma is grandma, mommy is mommy. So she's like, you was your children. You must discipline them. I'm here to spoil them. So.
Me don't know about that, Me ask Sir Kevin about that. But do you find that you're becoming your mom as you parent?
Of course.
Yeah.
100%.
How does that happen?
And
We don't even know until after we've done it. We're like, oh my God.
Or when you say it, you're like,
Yeah.
did I just say that? I'm like, I sound like my mother. And I know there are going to be things as they get older that I will be Marie Miller to the T.
Which is not a bad thing.
Not
Grandma,
a bad thing.
how different is it? What is it about grandchildren that makes you forget what you told us as kids?
Perhaps because you don't have the responsibility of the parenting responsibility. And now you have these, well, in our case, you notice the hour.
She's been saying
We have two. And it is so different. I'm not even considering it to be co-parenting because I say I'm not their parent. I am their grandmother. And somebody said, boy, you must be spoiled at me. I said, I don't know the difference between spoiling and loving. I love them.
You spoil them, Grandma. Grandma,
All right.
you know the
All
difference.
right.
Okay. Let's be
All
real.
right.
Okay.
But then spoilable.
Yes, you're spoilable.
And, but then you know that it can't always be that. But I learned not to interfere. I took a deliberate decision that I was not going to interfere.
But how do you not?
I don't. I try not to. I try not to because, let me tell you, first of all, Melanie has demonstrated that she's really a wonderful mother and capable. And plus, she now asks me anyhow because she has a whole village of our friends. So I didn't know a long time now. After I did ask two little questions one time, and the answer them never did sound so. Mommy, this is not 40 years ago.
Yes.
Or mommy.
Case in point.
So she has her
water.
village.
Yes.
You know, back in the day when we were children, I guess.
No,
so
no,
the
I
water.
don't know. No, I don't know. Back in the
Back
day.
in the day.
Don't fling me so far back, Melanie. I'm not going to with you. The other day.
When they were born,
Yeah.
when the twins were born, she, about 2 or 3 weeks into it, she said, I noticed you haven't given the children any water. So I said, they don't need water. The milk supplies enough of that. And she's like, okay. And she left it.
You know that,
so I went
okay
to the
then.
pediatrician and I asked the question. He's like, no, they don't need any water. There's enough. And so she kind of said, back in the day, and you'd hear the Jamaican, but water in the baby
They're
mouth.
thirsty. They are thirsty.
They're like, you had water, everybody had water, and you're still alive to talk about it. It's new way of parenting is, but as she said, she does not interfere.
I made up my mind. It was sometimes you have to bite your lip hard.
Yes, I know.
But I said, no, she has to demonstrate that she know what she's doing, and so she have a whole heap of friends, and them all are mothers together now in this new age, so them know all the new things. So that's why I have to just spoil them.
Right, okay, well, that is your role. My brother just had a baby, and my mother is still telling him how to hold the baby head back. I'm just over it.
Yes.
So, Kev, this is a fine line. I mean, Grandma said she's not the kid's parent. In our culture, many grandmothers are. Yes. They end up parenting the kids. Yeah. But how do you maintain this balance so that there is no interference, but if there is, that it is viewed with love? Yes. And, you know, the intention is seen as pure.
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to understand the difficult task of parenting. So there's an understanding that it is the most difficult job on the face of the earth. But then it's the most beautiful, awesome responsibility to nurture life. And I think if the mindset is for the child's benefit, how can we collaborate so that this child get roots and wings? Absolutely. They become the very best individual. Absolutely. So we're coming from the same place. And I love the dynamics because there are times when grandmothers are not so nice. There are grandmothers that are really abusive, you know. And I'm just saying it.
It's true.
And you have to limit your exposure to that grandma, of course, grandfather too, because we're focusing on grandmother, mother. But when we have healthy relationships between the adults, and if you notice the synergy and the lightness in which you're able to communicate, because here she doesn't interfere, she understands. So boundaries are set, healthy boundaries. I am grandmother and you are mother. So the responsibility is you. Yeah. You work with that. I am here to support you. 100%. And how do we love and set limits? Because that's what proper parenting is. Unconditional love, but at the same time limits. So we know that there are consequences for choices. And so once we know, have the mindset, this is the goal, we know, decide this is a supportive, grandma is supporting, and her support is taking the lead from mother. Because if anything wrong and government call, you know who they're going to? Mother.
Correct.
Unless child is staying with grandma because of death and all kind of other extenuating situation. So boundaries are established, and therefore conversation. Boundaries can be crossed, because we're not perfect. And then because this love overflowing and excitement and all of that, so we may go over another person's boundary. No, we have a conversation. Right. And the conversation is, whoa, I'm sorry, I realized I did that or I said that, and how can we correct that? We grow as a result of that, all for the benefit of the child. Correct. So that must be the focus. How do we do no harm to these beautiful children so that they get the very best of the village? Yeah. And I love that.
I hear them talk about this new age parenting. I'm not even sure it's really new age, Mel, because truth is the same thing that they did for us is what we want to do. The basic principles are the same, maybe minor tweaks. But one thing I would like to, just say before you guys go is that if you are watching and you have a grandmother who is integral to the raising of your child, it is a blessing unlike any other. A supportive mother, when you have a child, there are no words. And so even as we talk about this one, and we talk about boundaries and we talk about all the rest of it, Melanie, I'm sure there's no greater gift.
Simone, she hasn't left my house since 2017. Yeah. She's married for 46 years, and she sleeps at my house every night from October the 17th, 2000.
So I'd like to publicly thank my husband.
I was just going to say, are you still married?
Thank God that Grandpa loved them.
So the support, I can't begin to tell you. I know I'm blessed. My mother has not left me since these children have been born. Yeah. And the love and just to watch my children with their grandmother, their grandparents, priceless.
Okay.
We waited long for them. So.
I'm not going to cry. Yes.
We did wait kind of long.
Yeah. Don't it? And you want some more though?
No.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm going to just keep it moving.
Right.
Sorry, man. I don't like when people do it to me either. Thank you very much, ladies. All the best with your pumpkins and grandma with your grandkids. And thank you, Sir Kev, for weighing in this morning. Counseling psychologist with Family Life Ministries, Kevin Bailey, and mother and daughter, Marie and Melanie Miller. Hi, Leah and Liam, if you're watching. Wave, wave, mommy, wave, grandma. All right, more on Smile when we get back from Studio B, guys. News is next. Thank you.
Selector, you better pull up the one you feel.